No comments for you. Okay, so we're here for episode 1 of Nomad Connection. For those of you who are joining, hello, Mr. Jones, how are you? So the first thing I want to talk about is what exactly is Nomad Connection. A lot of people have been asking, so great, I'm glad you're well. So since I've been here, a lot of people ask me lots of questions about who I'm hanging out with and things about them, what I think of Bogota, Colombia, since I'm not from here. And so I decided to put together this group of people who would talk about their experiences here in Bogota. They're from all over the world. And so I'm super excited. Thank you. I'm super excited that they're here. They'll be able to tell you all kinds of things about what we've got going on. Hola, I'm Dr. J. So I am using this new Periscope after urging from Dr. J and, of course, my father, Edward Gray, who kept saying that I needed to get on Periscope. Here I am, and then this is where the idea came from. So now let me tell you how this is going to work. First, we do have a website. It's nomads9.wix.com/Nomad Connection. Hola. So you can follow us there. For those of you who are asking questions, sí hablo español y también ellos, pero la mayoría de este programa va a ser en inglés. Bonjour. What you can do is you can follow our website, ask questions there if you're not catching this live, or you can, of course, ask all of these questions, hola Peru, ask all of these questions through here and we will respond to them. If you are not watching live, that's fine. Follow our YouTube. Hello, Texas. That's my home. So if you're not watching this live, follow our YouTube, our website, ask questions there, send us an email. We'll be happy to answer your questions. So I guess that's enough of me. I'm going to go and introduce you to the rest of the Nomads. They're having a lot of fun. Hello, Nomads. Hello. Hey. So, welcome to our first episode of Nomad Connection. First, I guess introductions. I'm Janelle. I'm from the great state of Texas in the United States. I have been here. Hola Mexico. I have been here for 8 months now, and I am the grandmother of the group. I am 33, so here's the rest of the... It's you.
Is this a selfie or actually...
Yeah, no, you're totally on. This is you.
Okay.
We're recording.
Hey guys, I'm Daniel from Germany, and I'm studying here. Well, actually I'm doing my master thesis about the transport, the metro project that it has been going on for 60 years so far, and I try to realize the project. Well, I'm not sure if I actually succeed in doing that, but I do as what I can. I'm 25 years old, and yeah, I'm from Munich.
You look pretty young.
I didn't have that pegged either, actually. I definitely did not have the pegs for that. Marcela?
Do I look
So I'm from Mexico, and I'm going to start with my age, so I'm 30, and well, I'm been here in Colombia for 7 months. I'm working in the innovation consultancy field, and yeah, so I'm very looking forward to discuss this topic here.
We've got Munich, we've got Mexico, and...
Hey, I'm Chris, I'm from England. I've been here, I first came to Colombia in 2009, but I've been living here for about 3 years. I'm a travel blogger, journalist, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
I'm 27.
Casually.
Just, you know.
I'm 27. I look a lot younger when I shave.
I wouldn't have picked that up.
What was yours? Older or younger? Everyone thinks older.
27. Sorry. Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm from North Carolina, US. I've been here for a little over a year, teaching math.
As an Englishman, I'm going to say maths. It's maths.
It's not math. It is one math.
Maths. Always say maths. Cultural differences.
Cultural wrongness. I'm so sorry.
Hey, you look British though.
But we are new British.
Like a cheap version.
I'm 25. Stupid thing.
I'm a French though.
Hello, my name is Rebecca. I'm from Germany, and 24, and I'm on my exchange semester since August this year.
Fab.
Salut! I'm
I'm
Pierre.
not a Frenchman.
Shut up. But people usually call me Pilou. I'm from Martinique, which is the country, the island of sensuality. And basically, I'm here. I'm supposed to be studying, but actually, I'm mainly dancing every day. That's what I do
Pretty
in
much.
Colombia.
You have a fan club, just so you know.
Okay, nice to know.
Pilou, all caps. Bonjour.
Hi, I'm Genevieve. I'm from
Genevieve.
Australia. I'm 22. I'm also supposed to be studying here, but I'm also dancing here.
So we won't be showing this to the parental unit? No, I'm just kidding. I'm studying a lot.
They're aware. And yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Hey!
Oh, she's the baby of the group.
Oh,
she's
she's the baby of the group.
baby.
Yeah, there's that. You just call me Granny, baby. I
Well,
got you.
hello. I'm Mandish. I'm from the greater state of New South Wales in Australia. And I'm doing my exchange studies here since January. So it's been a bit more than 10 months in Bogota. And yeah, that's about it.
That's it. Okay, so the first thing I think I want to talk about is, or I'm just going to throw this out to the group. What was the first thing that your people said when you decided to come to Colombia?
Oh my god. Why are you doing this to us?
Here is a booklet of the World Fact site. Is it called World Facts? I have no idea, but my dad literally printed literally printed out a whole booklet of the crime rate in Colombia and came to my room and handed me that.
That's intense.
That's real. What about everybody else? This is gonna be really shaky.
My one was fine because I lived in Venezuela for a year. I had sort of monthly guns in my face and knives in my throat and stuff like that, which was scary. I think it's fine. So actually, Colombia was actually the first time I came to Colombia was because Venezuela has a closed currency, so you can't use and I ran out of money because of the inflation. So I made a sort of 36-hour border run to my cow in La Guajira, which is a really dodgy border down in La Guajira, and just stayed there for 3 days eating pizza and getting money out of the bank machine to sell, because it's a black market right in Venezuela. It was the first time I came to Colombia, and that time I think my parents, when I emailed them that, were a bit like, why are you doing this? And when I first moved here, they were fine, because they came to Venezuela. And, yeah.
They were okay with Venezuela.
More so, they've been more okay. They've come here 3 times, and they've been more okay with it here. I think, because Venezuela is not as welcoming as Colombia.
There's that.
People aren't quite as open straight off the bat.
I don't know, it's debatable, but...
Well, I mean, Colombian people are crazy friendly. I mean, Venezuelans take a little bit more longer to warm up to foreigners, I think, because they're not as used to seeing... Because there's a good number of tourists in Colombia, but in Venezuela there's very few. So yeah, I think...
I wonder why.
What about everybody else?
It's such a beautiful country.
What did your family say? Everybody else? Or is everybody else kind of mirroring the same thing? Like, were your parents, your family...
Mine was like,
friends?
are you ever coming back to the US?
Hi,
Mom. I hadn't been out for a while. She's like, you're never coming back.
Yeah.
That's about it.
So, what was the thing that made you decide to come anyway?
Colombia.
Love.
Yeah.
Love. Wait, there's so many. Love, Colombia, boredom. What's happening?
Or I was experiencing, I mean, like 3 years ago, I was not really considering Colombia, but when I was studying my master in the Netherlands, a lot of people, like mainly from Europeans, they were all saying like, yeah, Colombia, I've been traveling in Colombia and it's so beautiful. And they were like, why? Like, because I don't know, for me, it's kind of very similar culture also with Mexico. So I say like, yeah, so what is happening with Colombia? But then I got this very nice job offer that I couldn't reject. So it was like, kind of the decision of why to move here and why to start.
It's a really funny story.
I like funny stories.
In the Netherlands, so we met because of Janelle, Marcella and I. In the Netherlands, she was roommates with my ex-boyfriend's best friend. How random is that? Yeah. So, and that ex-boyfriend is why I came to Colombia.
Where did you study in the Netherlands? Why did I study?
No, where?
Where? In Delft.
I studied masters.
Okay. Very pretty.
Yeah,
And what did you study?
What kind of master? Strategic design.
Okay.
So industrial design, faculty of industrial design, engineering.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, we have 2 engineers
I have
in
a
the house.
question actually for the people who are studying here. How did it work in terms of choosing to be here? Did you have sort of a list of places you wanted to pick and they kind of assigned you one, or how did it work?
Yeah, we had like, so pretty much it's like you choose your language first that you want to major in, and then you have a selection of places you can go.
Okay.
So yeah, you just pick from that.
Okay.
Oh, hey, I'll just say it. There's a piece of paper in the kitchen. Can you bring that to me? Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Well, in my case, it was a bit different because, like, in my studies, you have to go abroad, like, around the 3rd year of your bachelor.
It was the same for me.
Yes, you have to go abroad.
Venezuela, that was.
And okay.
Connection made.
Yeah. At that time, I went to Argentina and it was fucking awesome. I was living with Colombian people there.
So
in Buenos Aires or somewhere else?
In Buenos Aires. And then I just like wanted to just get back because I was so bored afterwards in France.
It's exactly the same story.
So I just wanted to get back, and actually they started to develop a lot of partnerships with universities abroad for double degrees program. And we have one, like it's a double degree in a master that we're doing with El Rosario here. So basically we receive every year like around 8 Colombian students in our university and send 8 students here. So,
And what are your studies about?
well, generally speaking it's political science, but here I'm studying urban management.
So the question was why Argentina? The question was why Argentina. This is really simple, I swear. I want you just to hold and point. That's it. That's it. I know you said not to give you technology.
That was
why Argentina?
that was me.
You're good.
Well, in my case, it was just because I could not go to Brazil at that time.
Yes,
But-
thank you. That's also why I'm here.
But oh really?
Yes, of course.
But Argentina is fucking amazing. It's really nice. It's really nice.
It's a nice country.
It's a nice country.
Good to know.
Flights are too expensive though.
Yeah.
Depends from where you come.
From here.
It's really
It's
expensive.
pricey
It's
from here.
$980 for
What the fuck?
for Christmas.
It's more expensive than Euro.
It's more expensive in the US, then
It's like 600 the euro, no?
Yes.
600 euros.
Yeah.
In Spain or something like that.
Wow.
No, but I don't get it. Why not Brazil?
Okay, at that time I was working I was working in the government of Martinique in international relations, and we have partnerships with Brazil, and I wanted to do my internship there, but it didn't work out. So, and at the same time, I was already like thinking of coming to Colombia for the double degree thing.
No.
So I needed to learn Spanish.
But it was not because of like Portuguese language or some like relationship that broke and you were heartbroken.
Tell us everything!
What was your psyche behind that?
No, that came afterwards. That came afterwards.
Always does.
Well, in my case, like I do a master's program in Latin American Studies in Berlin, so that was kind of like fitting into my schedule. Huh?
I have the same masters, Latin American studies.
Really?
Latin American studies. Cool is a word I've never heard used to describe it, but thank you.
Yeah, so I chose Colombia because I heard a lot of nice stories, and I heard that Colombian men are taller than Peruvian men.
That's a start. Yay.
I don't get sure.
That's a nice strong competition. Being taller than Peruvian man.
No, but actually,
Saying the tallest girl in the room.
Colombian men are tall,
Right.
I meant, well, some are.
They're much taller than
Peruvian.
Yes, but Peruvians are living,
I think for people to understand, we should like put like a European specimen right here and Latin American specimen. They can understand the difference for European group.
Yes, I suffered.
How long were you in Peru for?
3 months doing an internship. in Lima. So that was actually the reason why I started my master's program in Berlin, because I like fell in love with the region, and I really wanted to focus more on Latin America.
But this is part of your master's program, being here.
Yeah, but I only have classes Friday nights and Saturday.
Like the worst night.
Yeah, it's such a rough life.
It's a really tough one.
It's almost as hard as being a travel blogger.
And drinking beers on Sunday afterwards.
No, it's great because I don't have to pass the course. Like, I just need participation and get the credits from my university in Berlin, so it's great.
I'm not sure you can call that studying.
Soaking up the atmosphere of that place.
I have to get up every Saturday at 7 o'clock in the morning.
I wake up every day at 4:30.
Oh, snap!
Trying to make that happen.
I'll try.
So I have another question before I ask the question, there's one other person that randomly joined. So let's acknowledge that we didn't just randomly invite a ghost in. Sir, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Justin Holloman from Pella, North Carolina, also from the United States. And I'm just here on vacation for about a month, and I'm going back up probably about on the 7th of November.
Please.
Yeah.
So now do you hear?
I don't like the fact that we have two people in flat caps.
Okay.
This is a problem. I have to take yours off.
To be honest, I think I have to give it to the English.
Yeah, they're both from North Carolina, but the accents are still
Authentic
different.
tweet.
What part of North Carolina are you from?
I'm in a small town called Pella, right on Virginia, North Carolina line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say to you what American people always say to me, I love your accent. You've got a cracking accent.
Like I said,
Can you do a southern accent in your English voice?
I can do the song yes ma'am. In an English voice. I'll just be like yes mom.
I think it was really funny the other day. The two of them were actually trying to do each other's accent, which was really Australian. Yes. He was speaking Australian, she was speaking Southern. Not by the country, not by the state, but specifically Australian and Southern.
But when people from the States do an English accent, they always do Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins, which is acknowledged as the worst attempt at it. Always like, oh yeah, a cup of tea, gum. Yeah, that's how we sound.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if people try to speak German, they get, like, really aggressive, and the program is only about, like, being aggressive, and we, like...
You're not disproving that.
Yeah.
You're not making me think differently. In Germany!
You did get just a little aggressive.
There we go, that's
I could cry.
I'm really sweet in my I'm being
not aggressive, okay?
I'm fucking sweet, okay?
I love it.
Just for
Nice!
So my question is, what was your first impression of Colombia? I mean, for some of you are like have been here so long, you might have to think back, but
yeah.
Well, I have like 2 months of experience, so it's not that much. But actually, before I came here, I really expected the people to dance more and to really like dance in the streets, music everywhere, like. Literally every Colombian is like able to dance like a super hot salsa and stuff, but it's not like that. I got really disappointed.
But you do have really loud cars.
Yeah, but like one of my blog entries says like, okay, Colombians, unfortunately, especially in Bogota, they don't really dance.
That's Bogota. That's only Cali. You haven't gone to Cali.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, Cali is the thing.
But I was quite disappointed, actually.
Yeah.
I was actually really surprised because I still remember our car ride from the airport the night we got here, and just the city, like it was like midnight, but it was just so vibrant with its street art, and that really took me by surprise, and I loved it because I'm a design major, so for me I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing, like
and it's
great.
the 26 you take into the
yeah,
city.
exactly, and you take
Which
the
is like
26.
the gallery of the city.
Yeah, so I was just like, I love it. So yeah.
No, but actually, you have to say that cliches don't really apply to Colombia that much. The Latin American cliches. I mean, people are more or less punctual. I'm working with in a research group.
I would debate that.
No, but it really depends. But there is people who arrive at time. Like if you are 5 minutes late, they will wait for you. Like that's really.
Oh, I think we have different friends.
Or perhaps, But also, it's what context are you meeting them in? Because like I feel like for people that are working, they're very on time, but.
Yeah.
For people like I have a student that I teach like during the day, and I'm there for his lunch, and I'm there like 5 minutes before, and literally like it's almost like 1:10 in 1 second, and he's ready to go. Wow. But when I go to his house to teach his children, however, they when they get there, it's maybe 5 minutes early, it's maybe 30 minutes late, whatever. We'll still feed you, but we'll get there when we get there. So maybe it's like what context you're.
I think so.
Yeah, but professional context in any case, and they're working hard. Like they're working like 50 hours.
People work real out. Like this, not for play.
But like, our landlord has like 3 jobs that he does, and he's a family man. He's just had a newborn. So but he's still continuing with his work. But like that's just how it is.
Also, the students, like there is hardly I didn't meet any student who's just only studying. They're all working at least in one job, or 2. I mean.
Which university?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's I used to teach at La Salle University, and I found that. Because they split the classes, there were the first half of students who come in between 1 p.m. and about 5 p.m. and the second half between 5 and 10. And the 5 to 10 people were all people who had jobs. So they come in and study for 5 hours after they work. But the 1 to 5 people were, and I found it really frustrating teaching there because teaching isn't what I really want to do.
Only studying.
But the problem is that it's private university, so it's completely paid for by their families. And nobody really failed at the university. You could just extra credit your way. They want your money, obviously, so you fail people. So I'd have students who cried, "Oh, teacher, you gave me a 3.5. I was like, that's because that's what you got. I'm really bad teacher because I'm not very sympathetic with those sort of situations. Like, you fail because you didn't work.
Well, I mean,
there are 2 questions that are being asked. The first question is, how long is a typical work day? And then the second question was, do they work more than one job for more money or for other experiences?
I think for more money.
For more money, definitely.
Well, basically, like
8 to 6 is a work day.
8 to 6 is a work day.
But like they have weird hours here. Like they sort of, especially with just normal shops or like hairdressers or whatnot. They're sort of just like, oh, we're just gonna open whenever. Or like they'll sometimes close early, they'll sometimes close later.
But they all have their lunch break.
Yeah, they
it's
all
like the
have
golden
their lunch break.
rule that you have. From 1 to 2, you have your lunch break. Whatever happens,
because a lot of people don't even have dinner.
Yeah.
Dinner, particularly in Bogota, is often limited to sort of a hot chocolate and some bread.
So
it really is. I mean, you have to eat a big lunch. You might not really be getting much to break.
Those corner bakeries are so popular. Like they're just everywhere.
So maybe just also answering about your question about the impression of Colombia. For me, it was like coming from Mexico City, for example. I think it was a very similar situation, kind of an urban jungle, to put it in a way. But was also kind of surprising was the idea of Colombians towards Mexico, which is very different from Europeans about Mexico. So for me, was like what people say here about my country is very different from what other people say, and that difference, I was not expecting that. So.
What do you
say? Were they saying it in a negative context or a positive?
No, in a
context?
super positive way here. In Europe, it's more like Mexico. Also because they are just receiving like international news and it's everything related with drugs or cartels or whatever. But from here, it's like, we love Mexico. We're just so similar. Like,
doesn't even have ice in it.
I couldn't find the answer.
There is no ice. I would have been looking for a long time.
You're an Englishman. Have no pride in your whiskey.
There was a question that was asked. There was a question that was asked. What's the biggest adjustment?
The piropos.
Yes.
The piropos.
Yes. The weather.
That's what
the weather.
Yeah.
The weather.
It's always changing.
Like in the day.
We have
Yes.
piropos here, huh? Like the.
How do you not
don't
have
do that.
piropos?
Yeah.
Because you know, you have to explain what is
Yes,
piropos.
exactly.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Yeah.
It's like when men catcall you on the street. So, like, we're both from Sydney, and in Sydney, it's not that it never ever happens, but really it hardly
I've
ever
never
happens.
been catcalled on the street
And
in my
here it
16
happens
years
a
in
lot.
Sydney.
Yeah.
So
I will
let's
ask
just
that question.
give that
In the US, it happens quite often.
It happens a lot in the
Say
US.
It doesn't happen any less in the US than it happens here.
I don't think it
Yeah,
happens
same
any
in
less.
Germany. Like, I mean, of course, here it's like more often, but you have piropos in Germany too.
Well, see, like, I guess that's why it was
That's why for us
the
it was a
biggest
massive
change for
adjustment,
us, yeah,
because here it is like very, very all the
and
time.
also because women here take it as a compliment.
Not all women.
But not all women, but like some.
Depends on
Yeah,
what you're
depends.
saying.
Yeah.
It's just a very ingrained part of the
Yeah,
day-to-day experience, so
exactly.
it's not necessarily that they take as a compliment, it's that
It's they accept that it
so
happens.
just in you, just you expect it.
Yeah, it's just
So you
you
have to get on with your
expect
day,
it.
or
Yeah.
you're just never going to be able to do anything.
Well, see, like if that happened in Sydney, we were saying this before. Like you could turn around and tell that person to fuck off, really.
Yeah,
Same here.
But
You can, but
here,
if you do that here, you would be spending like all your energy all day telling people to fuck off.
Yeah.
Because I would have to say fuck
yeah,
every time.
literally be just double taking
Yeah.
for
I
a
guess
5
especially
minute
when you
walk.
when like you're
When you're
white
really
people.
foreign. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
sound
guess.
really,
When
really
you're
foreign.
really blonde, for example.
My mom
Yeah.
says she likes you, by the way.
Hola.
Do we have your mom watch?
My mom is
Janelle's
on.
mom.
I hope your show went well.
I'm a big fan.
So one of the other questions that was asked were, did anyone not speak Spanish before they got here?
We spoke
I
very bad
basically
Spanish.
did it.
This team
Yeah.
speak very bad.
That's good.
That's not true. That's not true.
No, you're speaking well. Thanks to our teacher.
Yeah.
We
And that's
Spanish
the
class
thing.
together.
So nice.
That's the thing. Like Colombian people will encourage you a lot.
They
Yeah.
really,
Like
They
don't
do.
try this in France.
yeah,
Don't
Try it
speak
in
before.
France.
Don't try this in
Do
France.
not try this in
They would
France.
be like, no. And they'll be, oh, you speak such a good Spanish. Like, and that's very cool. That's very cool.
They're very sweet. Like
Yeah.
even though if you speak like 2 sentences, they will
Yeah.
like
Oh my god.
introduce you to everyone.
Yeah.
Like
That
feed
can
you,
take
hug you.
that can be a bit of a backlash at times because they're like, oh, okay, so you can say one sentence in Spanish. Let's just like talk about
let's
everything.
just talk it
And,
out really
Yeah.
at an
So
accelerated
then
rate.
you're like, I said hola. Like I said hola. That was it.
Even if you learn to say, I don't speak very good Spanish in Spanish, you're like, oh, she speaks Spanish.
Okay then, we're doing this.
This is true. And if you say like, could you say it a little slower? It's like,
But
Could you just draw a
don't you
picture?
have to, like you have to acknowledge you've been in Spain, right?
Yeah.
So like the Colombian Spanish is like so
No.
easy to understand. I mean in Bogota.
In Bogota, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh my God, plus
Learning
one
Spanish in
more.
Madrid and coming here, they speak. My first impression was like, wow, Colombians speak so freaking fast.
Yeah, they do.
They speak
They speak
so
very
fast.
No, they
Compared
speak
to Madrid,
fast.
Madrid is so light, like, hola tío, ¿cómo vas? Pero aquí es como, hola, ¿cómo te ha ido? ¿Cómo estás? Blah, 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 blah. There are like 5 greetings here.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
¿Cómo te ha ido? ¿Cómo le
Yeah,
va?
come on, you say it all. Like you say it all. You don't say one.
That's
You
the
say
whole
it
time
all.
greeting. How many times can we ask each other
Yeah.
how each other are without actually telling?
Yeah, exactly.
Even as an Englishman where we are excessively polite,
Yeah,
I
it's
find it
literally like,
ridiculous.
hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Qué más? So, okay,
Pues,
ciao.
¿cómo te ha ido? Hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo te ha
Answer
ido?
you.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like, ¿qué más? ¿Qué blah, blah, blah. Okay, ciao.
Que hubo, parce, que hubo. Thing is, for me, the language wasn't so bad when I first came here because in Venezuela, imagine an entire country where basically everybody speaks like a costeño because most of the major cities are on the coast. So I had sort of baptism of fire with Spanish because I studied at university, but coming here, Bogota felt like a dream because I was used to. Sí, vamos allá para la costa, está ahí. And he was just like, sorry, what? It's like they looked at the alphabet and went, we don't need 26 letters. So coming to Bogota was a pleasure because they pronounce all the words fairly clearly.
Get rid of all the S's.
Yeah, they're like, X, that's a terrible letter. The capital's called Caracas, which makes it really funny. We're like Caracas. Está bien, it's just dying. Dying. It's just sounds. It's just noises. There's no words.
I think
Well,
language.
they showed a lot of things here as well.
In Bogota?
Yeah.
Oh, no, compared to the coast, it's...
But like in general, like Buenos Dias is just like Buenos.
Yeah, and also
So,
these,
like,
these tomato sauce they have, they call it ahogado, which is supposed to be ahogado.
Yeah.
But it's like ahogado.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, it's just part of the words.
Yeah,
and
they
it's
just
like
take out.
But it's really easy to adjust.
Yeah.
I think language-wise, Bogota is like a nice place
A nice
to
place
start.
to start.
Yeah.
To
I mean, and then you can like make your way up the coast.
I think
Oh my god, when you go to Barranquilla.
The Pacific is
Oh,
particularly the Pacific
Barranquilla.
coast is
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah, we went to
Like,
Choco.
even Colombian
So,
people
like,
are
Whereabouts did you ever to? Oh, I read your blog. You went to San Pacho
you?
Festival.
Yeah, that was so
Maybe when it comes to language, you can talk about swear words because it's. I was really surprised by my teacher, like the professor I'm working with, because he's using a lot of swear words. I mean, like every sentence ends with huevón or marica.
Marica. That's like the number one. Marica.
It's so normal that when you say like swear words, I was like, what? They don't use swear words, but actually like they just say like so normally without.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
You become accustomed to it.
Ah,
It's
yeah.
part of the language, don't you? You don't just get it as a slur.
Puch, each a puch, they puch.
I do have a complaint though. They don't have a translation for fuckwit.
This is true.
This is so. I think they need to bring up.
For what?
Yeah, for fuck what?
Fuck with.
Fuckwit.
What does that mean?
What is that? Yes, exactly.
Oh, really?
Oh,
It's just you.
So there's actually no one.
sorry, we were talking Australian.
It just means you're just an idiot. I'm sorry, man, just being an
Like a
idiot.
dimwit. You know, it's like,
Yeah, like a
it's like a
dimwit,
dimwit,
but
but stronger.
Yeah.
That doesn't
That's what you
challenge
call the guy who
anything. It's like
cackles
a
your
different-
shit.
Yeah, exactly. That is why I'm
Yeah.
complaining because that is the
Is
perfect
there a
response.
Spanish.
No.
But to be fair, in the English language, we are pretty good at swearing.
Yeah.
Quite creative.
We have been very creative.
Particularly, I think in England, we found a weird system of everything can be an insult.
Yeah.
If you say it right, you can say
Yeah,
you
yeah.
kettle, and it's
Yeah.
it doesn't mean anything. If you say it in a British accent, strongly, like you glass of water. It's insulting, right? In an English accent, everything sounds a bit insulting. If you emphasise it right, I think it works quite well. My favourite one in Colombian language is sí or no. Because they always say sí or no to a question where the answer is obviously sí. Which is really funny. They're like, murdering people's wrong, sí or no? And you're like, well, sí, obviously. It's really funny. It's a weird little quirk, and like thickly posted and guilty. They say that all the time. If anyone's watching Narcos, you'll see that the guy who's trying to beat Pablo Escobar just says that a lot, and that's his way of being from Medellin. He just says sí or no. Oh, he's from Medellin, obviously. It's really weird. But in a Brazilian accent.
But I was about to say, considering most of the actors are from.
None of them are from Colombia. The only ones who are from Colombia, offensively enough, are the ones who play like drug, like prostitutes. It's really insulting. Like, everyone else, they're like Mexican. Seriously, it is. The extras who play murderers and prostitutes are the Colombian people they could get as
Good job,
extras.
Netflix.
But the good actors are Chilean, Mexican,
Yeah.
Brazilian. None of them are Colombian.
No.
It's a good show if you don't know the
Have you
accent.
seen
But
the one
Miss
from
Universe
Colombia?
2014 is Colombian.
Yeah,
I
but
did-
a lot of universes are Colombian or Venezuela.
Venezuela's actually the
Because they're very
capital.
beautiful.
But
How
that's a
seriously they
business.
take it.
No, but it's a business there, isn't it? You
Oh,
literally
shoot,
like.
absolutely.
And it's a business as well.
Yeah,
Oh, because, I mean, Venezuela.
Years ago.
But I think it's more
Yeah,
prominent
it's-
in
it's
Venezuela
much
because
more.
there's been what, like 10
There are beauty
universities?
pageant schools,
Yeah,
major
exactly.
schools that are a
But
big
speak-
deal to get into.
I feel like, to be fair, there are a lot of those too in the U.S. Like I know people who run companies that are.
I mean, I think it's a values thing. Like, I'm sure there's a lot in the U.S. There are a lot of Venezuela. There are a lot here. I think it's they just put emphasis on it.
Yeah, it's strange if you're from England.
There's
Yeah.
so
No, Australians like no.
As we're talking about
We
this
had
topic,
one.
I'd like to have your impression about the difference between girls in Colombia and Venezuela.
In what?
Venezuela, in what respect?
Like, yeah.
I
don't know, like,
Attractiveness.
Yes, attractiveness.
He's really asking, should I be there?
With
Yeah, should I rather be there?
The thing is that actually I've had a different experience of how I interact with people. Because when I was in Venezuela, I was teaching at university. So when you're teaching at university, you instantly have sort of a whole group of people your similar age who are basically your friends. You know what I mean? So it's really easy for me to meet people. Here, doing a travel blog, it's quite a sort of solitary job. So it's actually I don't meet that many Colombians in the same sort of context of my age, you know, because I work from home. I work.
Yeah, but you
on the
walk
road,
down
I
the
travel a lot.
street. You are like in the
True,
Turkish.
but I'm not in the catcalling.
You're not in a university where you're
Also, I'm English, so I don't talk to strangers in the street.
Please.
I have to have to talk to my granddad. You know? Although he's dead, so that's not really important. He's not. He's not insulted. Trust me, he's fine.
I was only in London for like 5 days, but like, what's the street calling like there?
Well, to be honest, I'm from Northern England, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
We don't cackle.
The cliche in England is that
We
it's
are the Queen's
builders.
people.
It's builders, that's the cliche in England. The people who do the catcalling are usually cliches that it's dudes on building sites.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
Construction workers.
sites, building workers.
Yeah.
And I think that's
Yeah,
similar
we
around
had
the
the
world.
same.
Yeah, we yeah.
But it's not an acceptable thing. At the
No,
point now,
no.
it's at the point now in England where you said where you could easily turn around and say, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Because you know,
We have
you
signs.
shame that.
We have like signs on our construction site near our uni, like
Really?
something like if you're gonna yell at women, like
Yeah, exactly.
get out of here.
It's not acceptable.
Yeah.
That's
No.
just period.
No,
like
it's
you
not.
just do not do it.
Yeah, no.
But sorry, to answer your question, because you asked me about the Colombian. To be honest, it's very different. I mean, it's like comparing. You can't compare girls in Bogota to girls in most of Venezuela because it's like the costeño. So you compare the girls in Venezuela more to girls in, say, Barranquilla or something like that, because most of the major cities in Venezuela are coastal cities. So generally, people from the coast I find are sort of much more open. I think Bogota has that. Bogota reminds me more of a European city. Do you know what I mean? You go out to clubs and bars here, and the girls and the guys are, you know, they're dressed in whatever the latest fashions are. You know, the coast is more, it's just more informal.
That.
I mean, not that I don't know anything about fashion, but they look more switched on to that to me anyway. As someone who wears shirts like this, non-ironically. I found on the coast it's just much more relaxed, I think. And I found it easier, because I lived on the coast in Venezuela, I found it easier to just chat to people, not girls or guys, just people in general. I found it a lot easier to talk to here.
But I would share your view that Bogota is quite similar to a European city because, like, here, like, actually, I don't really share like your view of the piropo thing because I think like men behave here in Bogota like way more than they do in Lima, for instance.
That's what exactly.
Like when I came here, I really was surprised about like almost non-existent piropos, like because I don't know, it's a very like working environment, and I think it's also because it's cold. Like we don't have this tropical. Yeah, but I mean,
But you can walk around in a
no,
Hawaiian
but I
shirt.
think really climate like changes your
No,
temperature.
it is because the first trip we did out of Bogota was to Barranquilla.
Yeah.
And it literally, I was ready to like grab a machete and cut down every man there.
Like, yeah, but it's just logical. Like here, yeah, but it's just logical that women here just wear more clothes. So you don't really like see that much as you see on the coast.
But do you walk around Bogota like completely alone very often? Because this is so surprising for me that we don't look that different.
Yeah.
I do.
I do walk around.
And do you get
You
it?
look different. I mean, compared
Not
to
like
normal.
no, I mean us to each other.
Okay.
We look similar, so we should receive like generally the same amount of piropos for being like obviously gringas, no? But like this always is if I'm walking by myself, which is like quite often, and then it's like really, really strong.
No, I really
think
don't.
Jen, you're just more beautiful.
There's mystery in the kitchen.
No, this is what she's saying. I get more piropos. Please, I rake them in. I just rake them in.
It's just because you're not.
I think that has something to do.
Because you were already saying that you find that not that different.
Maybe
to
my
others,
level of
you guys said you
acceptance
found it
is
very
just
different.
because
I think it's just that. I think you probably notice it more if you were saying you're not used to it as much, and you said you were more used to seeing it in Berlin. Perhaps that's the thing.
The comment that's coming from the peanut gallery is body language and approachability make a difference in terms of body language and approachability makes a difference.
She's very Heidi. You're not.
You're very like. I didn't tell anything, but my head told everything.
Remember the analogy?
You just dancing down the street.
The pants.
There's a difference. What is that?
There's a huge difference. In Peru, I got it all the time. All the time. Like,
Oh, sorry, is
Munich,
that not good? We
Blondie,
don't like-
whatever you want to call it. I mean, the translation, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
But here, it's pretty, it's more relaxed.
Yes.
Like, yeah, it's more relaxed here.
So another question that I feel like would actually hit close to some of you is, how does transportation... I can really just stop there. Sorry. The audience wants to know.
See, I told you it was an important issue.
Well, we have transportation here.
Yes, the transportation guys. So the question is, how does transportation differ from home?
Well,
Like,
I mean,
how does like, I guess your
it's like black and
daily
white.
commute, I guess.
Often, like, you cannot. I mean, if you want to have two opposite sides, then you should just go to Switzerland or somewhere in Germany, and then you come here, and then you have like a great experience for sure. No,
So yeah, they're asking about specifically the daily commute, is what she's telling me.
yeah, you can spend
Fucking sucks.
What she said.
2 to 3 hours of your day in a bus in Bogota without like being unlucky. I mean that happens. That
Yeah.
happens.
That's very
Peak
normal.
hour, and the people get up very early.
Bus.
They get up
At
let's
Five.
say 5,
no?
4:30.
Yeah, like 4:30, take an hour and a half bus ride in, and like an hour bus ride back into the city.
I mean, I have to walk all the way from my room to my kitchen, which is it's a grind. I mean, sometimes the door gets
sometimes you have to
the door's a bit fiddly, so sometimes you have to pull. It's hard.
I think most
I'm gonna drink some
Colombians.
more.
Don't have that
The
luxury.
thing is, like, a lot of people are working really far from where they live.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
problem.
No, of course, I'm joking about my
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I think
that's the
also
thing. It's so
Yeah, but I
centralized.
think
It's
my
so
joke is
centralized that
obviously.
people, or at the contrary, people would go out of the city to work, right?
Or people
That's
from
what you
Chia. There's a city
Yeah,
that
I know
has
Chia.
probably 1 million people. I wouldn't be surprised if it's less than that. About 45 minutes north of Bogota.
Well, Soacha, isn't it?
Yeah.
Soacha,
it's
yeah.
just-
One of the
as
biggest
well.
cities in the country.
So you have all of these people coming in from these different areas. So that causes.
And that means that at around 5, 6 p.m. it's
Every
pretty
single person.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's-
It feels like
You can
every
feel
person in the
any
world.
movement in the bus because like
Is that
I didn't know I could. Okay.
it smells delightful. The question is that because do you think that's because of the housing prices outside of Bogota, or do you think that is just because of the
Yeah,
Maybe
that's a big
the
difference.
opportunities are, no? Maybe
plus
because
the
the
US
opportunities are kind of centralized here, so they have, it's more or less what is happening in Mexico City. So you have like 12 million people living in Mexico City, but 22 around, and they all around, they have to come to the city because there's no other ways. There's no more opportunities outside. So
But also
I'm not
Bogota
sure if
is
it's the same here.
expensive.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that
expensive.
was another shock. Like I did not expect Bogota to be so expensive. I mean, like compared to Sydney, it's nothing. But
No, really.
like it is actually expensive. Like so for like a Colombian living here, it's a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't compare to Rio, to Brazil or Chile, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
but for all
it's
of
like
us,
American
it's not
City.
expensive.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for yes, relatively
Yeah.
expensive. But like,
Relatively.
think as a Colombian, like
Yes, it's very
Relative to the
like,
average
a lot of
minimum wage, it's
Colombians
very
with just
expensive.
average
Yeah.
wage of around
like
200
Yeah.
euros or dollars
Like a
roughly.
month.
Yeah, a month.
Yeah.
The minimum wage is
Yes,
about 700,000 pesos. It's
Yeah,
about
exactly.
The lowest. That's
Yes, so that's around 200 euros, right?
not a lot of money.
Yes.
But this is
And-
the cost of the city.
And
Yeah.
that's around like what you pay in the center.
Yeah.
It's like your wage.
Yeah, if you want to live
And that's
in
for
a
people
Do you
with
wanna live in
declared
the
jobs. A
centre?
large
Yeah.
percentage of Colombians work in informal labour, so
Yeah,
there's no
exactly.
declaration of what they actually
No.
earn.
no.
And I imagine it's a lot
Much
less than the
lower.
proper minimum wage in the country. So.
Yeah, because like waiters earn like 14th hour day for like 8 to 9 hours of work.
Yeah, but
And
that's why you
tipping
have
isn't
very few
really-
people living on their own. Like they all live like with their families or like
Yeah,
in
but if you-
groups. And like for Germany, like I don't know, like in Berlin I have my own apartment, like normal. That's
Yeah.
nothing special at all. But here would be
Even the
That
wealthy
doesn't happen.
No.
It's the majority of foreigners who do that, but
Yeah.
normally they stay with their family until they marry.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then they go get
And they hate
And
it.
they can even have a good job. They would still stay with their family so that they
Yeah,
can
but like rent
save
isn't
money,
cheap. Like if
save
you want to
money,
live
and
somewhere
then buy
nice.
But even the wealthy
Yeah.
people, even the
Yeah.
people who come
Yes.
from money, still live with their parents.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that's just a cultural thing. I think that's not
Yeah,
really.
as well.
That's not a.
Yeah, but most of the people our age, they really don't want to live with their family, but they just have no other options than.
I get the feeling that he's okay. Yeah, I'm talking about a couple of people.
No,
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, my mom made me this lovely dinner of whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think if they minded that
I
much.
don't think
Yeah,
so.
like there's
And also,
also
like-
but all people I spoke to, like they were like, oh, you have your own apartment, like I wanna live.
Yeah, I think, but they say that just to be like, oh my god, that's something different, that's something new.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
in
but
reality.
but in reality, like we live with a Colombian who's lived away from home for what, like 2-3 years now.
Yeah.
But like, I still feel like maturity-wise, no.
Not really.
Not
He's
really
still living
there.
away
Not really-
From mom.
Yeah, exactly.
So thinks he has 2 foreign moms.
Yeah, he
living
pretty
in
much thinks we're his mom.
She doesn't.
No,
I think part of that has to do with the way that the university system works, because
Yeah.
in the UK, the first thing that happens when you go to university is you go to halls of residence. You leave.
Right.
The idea is that you deliberately choose a city that isn't where you're from.
Yeah.
Whereas here it's not really the case. People don't, because the majority of the best universities in the country are probably.
Well,
Yeah.
So, you know, most people tend to stay in the city where they're from to study.
Yeah.
They don't move to a different place.
Yeah.
So they live with their families. And that's a big formative part of your life, right? I mean, that's where you learn to be independent. In Europe, anyways, you learn to be independent in those years between 18 and 21.
But
You
Well,
go and you learn
in
to cook for yourself.
Australia, it's
And it's
kind
not
of
as
like
common
here.
here. It's not as common here. So I think when you get to 21, 22,
Yeah.
it's not that you don't necessarily want to, it's just that you, during those formative years of learning how to do those
But
things,
I
you
mean,
just haven't learned.
in England, like if you stay in the same city for studying, then
Virtually
you
no one does.
Yeah, but if
you
you
did,
decide,
if you
if you're from London, for instance, and you decide to study in London,
Yeah, but those
you
people would
stay-
still find their own place to live.
yeah,
They wouldn't
my
stay
because
there.
that's
Most
pretty
people,
normal.
I mean,
Like,
actually, now that you have to pay for university in the UK,
Yeah.
5 years ago it was free, now it's very expensive.
so they
More
would just
people are
like
living at home.
Yeah.
choose to move out. From
Yeah.
Most people would, yeah. And to be
No,
honest,
no.
my parents, I'm an only child, and my parents could not wait to be rid of me when I was 18. They were not like, oh, please stay. I mean, they don't like the fact that I moved thousands of miles away,
Yeah,
but they would not have, because they're retired now. They've done their time.
Yeah.
whereas
Because that's
they
like
want to do their
very
own thing.
normal in
Yeah.
Germany. Like, I mean, it's not that your parents like really expect you to leave, but it's like the most normal thing to like if you graduate high school. And then you move out.
So-
Yeah,
Like,
but I
even
think also
if
that-
you if
So
you
many
stay
No,
in the
but
same
also you have a
city.
lot of support from the government to move out.
Exactly.
And
In
what,
Sydney,
in
this is
Sydney
not
we have
normal at
nothing.
all. But we don't have anything
In
at
the
all.
UK, we don't have much of that, especially at university now.
Like our
No, but it's like you guys have
French and
a
German,
uni
social
culture.
countries.
Sorry,
Yeah,
university.
Yes.
University.
Say the full word.
Wait, do you guys not say uni?
But I
They
think
say, yeah, no.
Oh, we say uni in the UK.
Yeah. So like you guys have a university culture. Like you have a lot of on-campus dorms and all that.
Like every first year pretty
But it
much
costs
gets,
more than
gets
a
accommodation.
It costs more than a
Yeah,
month.
But like, see,
And they're
Sydney,
also-
it
and
is
they
not
require you to
common
have-
that.
Like,
Nor do
Right.
you, nor is it common that you go to another place for uni.
No.
Like if you can go to uni in your own city, that's what you do.
Well,
University.
distances are vast that you're talking about, aren't you? Whereas in England, you can go to the other end of the country and it's only going to take your parents 4 hours to drive.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
And they can move you in, and
Yeah,
whereas in Australia, I imagine that would involve a plane ticket.
Well,
for you.
yeah, exactly.
Of 7 hours.
Exactly. And nothing as well, just to put it bluntly.
Yeah.
3 people
But
at
it's-
least paying to
Sydney
go.
is like the second most expensive city in the world. Even if you wanted to move out,
You
Which
can't.
one's the most expensive?
I think it's Tokyo. I'm not
Tokyo
sure.
or in Switzerland.
Oh yeah, that one. I'm not
Sure.
sure.
I would be surprised if like Sao Paulo was up there as well.
Oh, I don't
So
know.
there are 2 more questions before we close out that have been asked.
Are we almost finished?
We're almost finished. It's like almost an hour. Did you guys know y'all were talking for an hour? Yeah, that was happening. So the question is, what's the average wage here, and also what is shopping like here?
Shopping
Shopping.
is
Shopping
like,
is
Wonderful.
expensive.
Shopping for
I
what?
mean, price-wise,
You can shop everything.
You can shop for everything.
You can
What's the
shop
difference
for
in
denim.
Time out, because I think they're having a hard time hearing all of us too as well. So I think what she was asking for, hopefully she'll pop back up in a second, but specifically shopping in terms of, like she mentioned Target, like big stores, or also just shopping in.
Falabella.
But I think things tend to be in districts. If you want a specific item, there's usually an area of the city that caters for that item. I mean, it's really specific. I needed cardboard boxes for Halloween costume, and there is a cardboard box district. There's a 5 block by 5 area where they just sell cardboard boxes, which seems kind of counterintuitive in a sense, because you're next to all your rivals. But in a way, it means that the business is spread quite evenly between those shops. But
like there's a street near us that is literally just optics.
And also
there's a mariachi district. So if you need a mariachi singer, you go to 48 in Caracas and you can find 50 mariachis.
I always wanted mariachi.
It's a great district.
It is not good. Really anything on Caracas sometimes is a little
it's hard to
dodgy.
be scared of doing in a mariachi.
But still, they're like mariachi gangs.
Oh yeah, no. Well, apparently that mariachi culture comes from the narcos in the 90s.
Yes, that's what I'm
saying.
saying.
They used to love
She's like, yes,
to
that's
dress
what I'm
up
saying.
in mariachi outfits. If you look at it, there's photos of Pablo Escobar posing in mariachi outfits. It used to be a big thing, so it's something that the gangs used to adopt.
But it still goes on.
As a code of conduct, and it still goes on.
It's a real for you guys.
So for those that don't know, let's highlight again, what is mariachi? Because I feel like some people miss that, and I think they need to hear that.
Well, we have somebody from the country of mariachi. Probably the person to explain what mariachi is.
It's a music band. Who has this instrument, which is guitar and trumpet, and
trombone.
Trumpet, right?
Trombone.
Is it the one where they move?
Both. Okay, but like trumpet, trombone.
It also is coming, and it's also from the provinces in Mexico City. No, sorry, from the provinces of Mexico, but now it's kind of spread all over the country. And they have also some corridos, no? Do you know what a corrido is?
No. I'm sorry.
A corrido.
Correct. See, we were right. Okay, trumpet. Sorry, she's correct. She's also a musician, so she's correcting our trumpet trombone argument. Clearly, we were all wrong. Okay, great. So go ahead. She said no. She said it was a trumpet.
Yeah, and they have these classic songs. So, for example, corrido is like a storytelling of an event that is happening, and then they kind of sing this storytelling. So the type of lyrics they have a lot of a deep meaning behind, something like that.
And they always have those outfits, right?
Yeah, they always have the
sombrero, shiny suit.
But coming back to the shopping issue.
Yes. Full circle, my friend. I like that about
you can find practically like everything in Bogota. Also for tall people, which is quite nice. No, but I mean they have like big shopping malls. They have like international brands.
if you go to a shopping center, you can find most things. But if you want to go shopping cheaply and you want to go to like the Colombian stores and stuff, the problem is for skinny people like me.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know who's actually watching, but this ain't your audience. I'm gonna be honest. But go ahead and try.
No, I'm just saying. It's like, you know when you...
I'm gonna go ahead and they're gonna be real mad.
You won't fit in the standards of the bust and the ass. You know? So...
Padded panties.
Yes, give it your hand.
There's a response that says no, we are not her audience.
But I don't know, do these padded panties exist in Europe? Because I've never seen that until I got
in
here.
Australia, yeah.
Underwear.
They exist.
You've never heard about in the hospital?
In the country, in the hospital at the 85, below is like a store, so I guess it's the maternity ward or whatever, I don't know. So they have all kinds of Spanx. I've never seen so many Spanx in my life. And then they have like the corset tops, and then the padded,
And they sell padded panties in the hospital.
Right.
No.
Just in case you lose too much of that. The thing I've noticed for sizes, for men anyway, the thing I've noticed is that when they grow the size from small to medium to large, they never anticipate that you'd want a bigger size because you're taller.
Yeah.
So all sizes are more or less the same. So I never recommend like take that in the 90s. With just a wider shirt. They never assume that you want a large because you're tall.
Yeah.
They assume you want it because you're fat.
Story of
So
my
they just
life.
get wider, they never get longer.
They never get
So it's just a wide shirt.
Yeah.
And one wash and they shrink anyway. So I've got a shirt like They're just pajamas. I got like 45 pajama t-shirts that I thought were going to be great.
Yeah. Also with bras, like they don't know that just because you have big boobs doesn't mean you have a big back. So like
because
the
they
back
have
size and the boob size is not a different size. It's just one size.
but that comes to the body
if you're not like that, then it's just gonna.
But that comes to the body image that they have for the body. Yeah, the body image they have for girls here is very hourglass. You have to have the cinched in waist and boobs
finally.
It's curvy, yes,
Love
but
it.
it's very hourglass. Like you need to have that cinched waist. You need to have.
So
the
they
big
should make
bust.
a bra accordingly.
Yeah, exactly, but they don't.
No, but I love that about like Colombia and Latin America, that women don't have to be like super skinny and like no curves. Nothing.
But that brings its own challenges. They have to be another body shape.
They need to be another body. That's why they have padded underwear.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have an ass, you need to wear the padded underwear. Like, I feel weird around here because I'm like, I feel like a lanky, tall idiot right now.
It's like a lot of like body pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
To look a certain way.
Yeah,
so either way.
Will you really feel that body pressure? Like,
Yeah, I feel
when
much
I first
better
came
about
here,
my body, but like
when I first came, when like the first month here, I felt really out of place.
okay, if you compare with other people, of course, but it's not like you are feeling pressure because you need also to be someone like this, right?
But one would have to argue that the pressure has to exist if one would have to argue that if the want to get plastic surgery is so high.
Yeah, exactly.
Like for the business to be in such demand here specifically, one would have to argue that pressure exists.
The pressure is big.
Whether we and we're in
Medellin
is insane.
But you see it here in offices every day where you go.
quite
Yes,
in
the
the
coast as well.
upper.
Yeah, definitely.
But
like-
I think like the health center, like health tourism about like surgeries, getting surgeries and stuff is in Medellin. It's
Medellin is
insane.
actually, Cali is actually cheap.
I've met people coming here for plastic surgery tourism.
plastic surgery tourism.
They come- they
I
sell
understand.
packages. They sell packages. You can
Yeah.
come for 2 weeks, you do plastic surgery, you recuperate on a beach somewhere, they sell it as really
Like it's a
In
vacation
fairness,
package.
it's very strong, but they also have some of the best quote-unquote plastic surgery in the world. Some of the dental care,
And it's
some of the best
Yeah,
dental care.
absolutely.
If you want to, people who come here for braces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
I want to get braces.
Really nice.
We probably all
Yeah, but like that's the thing. Have you seen
As a
like
British man,
have
the
you seen
country
the
with the worst
dentist?
teeth in the world.
have you seen like the dentist? Like they literally the quote that they use is "We design smiles."
The thing is also.
I went to the dentist the other week
Yeah.
and she showed me my mouth and she just fainted.
I know. I had to.
So we're officially out of time for our first episode. But how do we feel about our first episode?
Yeah, super.
I'm never doing that.
That's the last time I'm out of here.
The whiskey in particular.
So, okay, yes, Pilu. Yeah, bye, Pilu. Pilu.
I'm hurt. You didn't say bye to me.
Like, don't worry about the rest of us.
I feel hurt.
Awesome. We hope you guys enjoyed our first episode. If you have any questions, feel free to send us an email at nomads@allagreatarea.com, or you can check our website at nomads9.wix.com/nomad connection.
How did you buy that website?
What can I say? Everybody,
It's a weird website.
peace out.